This is Nico Jenkins, a 26-year-old released after 11 years behind bars, who went on a 10-day killing spree that would rock Omaha, all while claiming he was following the orders of an ancient Egyptian god. At the age of 15, Jenkins was sentenced for armed robbery and assault, starting what would become a 10-year stay in prison. During his time behind bars, Jenkins reportedly attempted suicide multiple times and made claims of hearing voices. On August 11, 2013, just weeks after his release, Jenkins murdered two men, Juan Uribe Peña and Jorge Cajiga Ruiz. They were lured into a trap under the pretense of a sexual encounter, then shot in the head. 8 days later, on August 19, Jenkins struck again. This time, the victim was Curtis Bradford, someone Jenkins had known from prison. The two had been photographed together just the night before the murder. Bradford was found shot in the back near a garage in North Omaha. According to police, Jenkins lured him out under the pretense of committing a robbery together, then shot him twice in the back of the head. But Jenkins wasn't done. Just 2 days later, on August 21st, 33-year-old Andrea Kruger was driving home from her job at a bar. At around 2:15 a.m., her body was found lying in the middle of the road, shot multiple times. Her SUV had been stolen and was later discovered abandoned and set on fire. Unlike the previous two killings, this one showed signs of carjacking and theft, but the execution-style killing remained consistent. By this point, the city was on edge. Police were scrambling for answers. On August 29th, Jenkins was arrested on unrelated charges involving threats he made to a local family. But as detectives began to piece together evidence, including matching shell casings and a particular type of ammunition purchased by Jenkins' mother, the net began to tighten. When Jenkins was brought in for questioning, he shocked officers by confessing to all four murders. What made the confession even more bizarre was his reasoning. Jenkins claimed that the killings were sacrifices demanded by the Egyptian god Apophis. He said the voices in his head had guided him. In an 8-hour taped interview, Jenkins spoke in strange languages, shifted between personalities, and described each murder in disturbing detail. The confession was real, but the question quickly became, was Jenkins mentally fit to stand trial? In 2014, Jenkins pleaded no contest to the four murders. And in May 2017, a panel of 3 judges sentenced him to death for each of the killings, along with over 400 years in prison for related weapons charges. To this day, he remains on death row at Tecumseh State Correctional Institution. In 2019, the Nebraska Supreme Court upheld the death sentence. This is Markeith Loyd, born October 8th. He is an American convicted murderer, currently on death row for the killing of Orlando Police Lieutenant Deborah Clayton. Sade Dixon was young, full of life, and newly pregnant when she ended her relationship with 41-year-old Markeith Loyd, a man with a violent past. On the night of December 13, 2016, Loyd showed up at her home in Pine Hills. Sade stepped outside to speak with him, but moments later, he pulled a .40 caliber Glock and opened fire. He shot her 8 times, killing both her and their unborn child. When her brother tried to help, Loyd shot him too, though he survived. Sade died on her front porch before help could arrive. Not done yet, he fatally shot off-duty Lieutenant Clayton after an alert shopper spotted him in the store lineup. Orlando, Florida. Lieutenant Deborah Clayton, a 17-year police veteran, off-duty Lieutenant Deborah Clayton was shopping at a Walmart when a store employee pointed out a familiar face, Markeith Loyd, the fugitive wanted for murdering his pregnant ex-girlfriend. Clayton called for backup, but chose to confront him herself. Clayton stepped outside in the parking lot and she ordered him to surrender, but he opened fire instead. Loyd shot Lieutenant Clayton multiple times. She was hit once in the hip and fell, but Loyd didn't stop. He circled and shot her again execution style. One of those bullets struck her neck, killing her instantly. After gunning down Lieutenant Deborah Clayton in a Walmart parking lot, Markeith Loyd disappeared once again, but this time, the city of Orlando was on fire with outrage, and law enforcement wouldn't let him vanish. After Lieutenant Clayton's murder, over 10 officers launched a citywide manhunt. Helicopters circled, billboards showed Loyd's face, and the reward rose to 125-0. During the search, tragedy struck again. Deputy Norman Lewis died in a crash while responding to the manhunt. For 9 days, Loyd hid out, armed and defiant, even claiming online he was set up. On January 17, 2017, police cornered him in an abandoned West Orlando home. Loyd wore body armor and had 2 guns. He tried to flee but was captured by SWAT. During the arrest, he was beaten and lost his left eye, an injury he blamed on police brutality. After 9 days on the run, Markeith Loyd was finally in custody. But the legal battle was only just beginning. After Markeith Loyd lost his eye during his violent arrest on January 17, 2017, the case took a shocking turn, both in the courtroom and in the public eye. In his early court appearances, Markeith Loyd wore a bandage over his eye, claiming police had intentionally blinded him during his arrest. He accused officers of brutality and said he was beaten despite surrendering. Before sentencing, Markeith Loyd displayed erratic behavior in court and made several disruptive statements. Finally, in March 2022, Judge Letitia Marquez sentenced Loyd to death, calling the murder cold, calculated, and cruel. Loyd showed no emotion as the sentence was delivered. Martez Abram, on July 30th, 2019, in South Haven, Mississippi. 39-year-old Walmart employee Martez Abram, recently suspended for allegedly threatening a coworker with a knife, returned to his workplace, this time armed and ready to kill. Wearing body armor and carrying 2 handguns, Abram opened fire. He shot and killed 2 managers, Anthony Brown in the parking lot and Brandon Gales inside the store. Anthony Brown, 40 years old, is a devoted store manager and father of 2. On the morning of July 30th, 2019, he arrived at work as usual at the South Haven, Mississippi Walmart, unaware that violence awaited him. Brandon Gales, a 38-year-old longtime Walmart department manager and devoted father of 3, one of the victim's wives delivering a victim impact statement. But the violence wasn't done yet. As terrified employees scrambled for cover and customers fled the aisles, a call went out to South Haven police. Officers were on the way. Just minutes later, Officer Blake Zacharias arrived at the scene, the first to respond. He exited his vehicle and approached the building cautiously, knowing the shooter was still inside. But Abram was ready. Wearing body armor and heavily armed, Martez Abram aimed from inside the store. He saw Officer Zacharias approaching and opened fire. A bullet struck the officer in the chest. Thanks to his bulletproof vest, Officer Zacharias survived, but the impact knocked him back. Still under fire, Zacharias managed to return shots. More officers arrived quickly, surrounding the store and engaging Abram. A gunfight broke out right in the Walmart parking lot. Abram was hit, suffering 2 gunshot wounds, one of them serious. He tried to flee, even set a fire inside the store by pouring gasoline down the aisles, but his injuries slowed him down. He was overwhelmed and arrested on the scene. Abram was taken to the hospital and later transferred to jail, facing 2 counts of capital murder and 1 count of attempted murder for the attack on Officer Zacharias. Abram, in court, didn't deny what happened. He admitted to the shooting but claimed he was in a state of shock.
Yes. After that, you went back to the toilet paper office.
Still, he took full responsibility. The jury took just 55 minutes to find him guilty on all charges. Austin Myers and Timothy Mosley. In January 2014, 19-year-old Austin Myers from Clayton, Ohio, lured his childhood friend, 18-year-old Navy recruit Justin Back, to his home in a plot to rob a family safe with accomplice Timothy Mosley. Austin Myers and Timothy Mosley were both convicted of the murder of 18-year-old Justin Back. The 2 went to Justin's home to steal a safe belonging to his father, but during the robbery, they brutally strangled Justin using a homemade choke wire. Justin Back was brutally stabbed 21 times, leading to his death. During the trial, Mosley testified against Myers as part of a plea deal, pleading guilty and receiving a life sentence. Myers later took the stand himself, asking the jury to spare his life for the sake of his family.
If you choose for me to die, it's only going to cause more pain and suffering for another family, not me. It won't hurt me. I won't feel anything. It's going to hurt more innocent people.
Hoping to avoid the death penalty. During the sentencing, Justin's father, Mark Cates, spoke directly to Austin Myers. With heartbreaking clarity, after the jury recommended the death penalty, this became Myers' final opportunity to beg the judge to spare his life. But the judge wasn't convinced he delivered the maximum sentence without hesitation. With nothing more than a slight nod, Myers, just 19 years old, became the youngest person in Ohio to be sentenced to death. He is now awaiting execution at the Chillicothe Correctional Institution. The case of Austin Myers is a chilling tale of betrayal and greed. At just 19, he became Ohio's youngest death row inmate, not for committing the murder himself, but for masterminding the brutal killing of his trusting friend, Justin Back. while Timothy Mosley, who carried out the stabbing, received life in prison. It was Myers' calculated role that sealed his fate, a tragic reminder of how one choice can destroy many lives. Michael Brady. This is Michael Brady, the man behind a deadly prison escape attempt at Pasquotank Correctional Institution in North Carolina, which led to the deaths of 4 prison workers. Brady was serving a 24-year sentence for attempted murder after shooting at a North Carolina state trooper. Just 4 years into his term, he and 3 fellow inmates carried out a brutal attack, killing 4 prison staff members using hammers and scissors. Brady attempted to escape by climbing a fence, but was quickly apprehended at gunpoint. During the trial, prosecutors claimed that Brady was the mastermind behind the attack and showed no remorse for the murders. After being found guilty, Brady took the stand during his sentencing. The judge then read aloud the jury's recommendation. Brady appeared completely emotionless as the judge upheld the jury's recommendation of the death penalty. He is now incarcerated in Colorado, awaiting execution. These chilling cases show how violence, whether driven by delusion, betrayal, or cruelty, can come from the most unexpected faces. From Nico Jenkins' twisted beliefs to Austin Myers' cold manipulation, each story is a tragic reminder that evil often hides in plain sight. Though these killers now face justice, the true cost was paid by innocent lives and grieving families. If this video moved you, like, subscribe, and comment below which case shocked you the most. Until next time, stay aware, stay safe,